obviously we had our chance to react to it live in the moment with a lot of y'all, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned into the watch party. Y'all made it. It was crazy. Y'all definitely made it a movie. That was fun right there. We like those type of nights right there, man.
Yeah, that was so much fun. We had a bunch of side topics. This was the first time we were doing it.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't really need them that much. It flowed pretty good. But like we were really into like who's getting picked next.
Yeah.
Because once it got closer and closer to the Steelers pick,
absolutely,
everyone matters. Like, oh, is Harris gonna fall? And he eventually did. Because we were worried about the Dolphins. Who else were we worried about? Cardinals, maybe.
Oh, was it the Jets were in that mix as well, or something like that?
Yep,
yeah,
Jets too.
It was a fun time though, man. Like you said, all them times we had just it's gonna sit there. We'll get to it one of these times. But no, it was good, man.
That was fun.
It was definitely a good time. All right, so overall though, man, thoughts on the Najee pick once again later, after seeing it, sleeping on it, looking at how the rest of the draft played out and the pieces that fell before and after him, still love the pick, man. I think for me, seeing the other players that were going to be available during that time who were on the board, even though Tevin Jenkins was on the board, I still feel like, and this is the weird dynamic of how the draft works, for draft value, I thought that you would get more draft value out of taking Tevin Jenkins because we said the longevity of that position. But I thought that Najee was the better player, and it's not close. So even though I feel like Najee gives us less value because of just his position at 24, I feel like he was still the best player and most valuable player that was going to be available to us at that time. So that's why I didn't have an issue with it. I actually, like I said, I like it a lot more thinking about it more than that now. And obviously, you can make the case of, all right, well, did you want ETN or Javonte Williams at 24 over Najee? You can make that debate. That's for a different day. Like I said, before the draft, I thought ETN was the better player. I would have rather had went with him. But as a whole, if you're getting Najee, it's not like you're settling. Everybody had a rated. Yeah, it was like you split hairs.
The top three. And
absolutely,
if anything, a lot of people had the top two being Harris and ETN. And it seemed like the Steelers loved Harris.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think everyone had 10 minutes to make their pick, and I think 30 seconds went by. There was 9:30 on the clock. Steelers make their selection.
Absolutely, man. They didn't waste any time with that, but it was good to see them have that same type of confidence as well. Like if you believe in this guy to that extent, it shouldn't be a debate. We shouldn't have to, all right, we're up here, we're kind of coin flipping this thing. Because like for us, we said, man, we kind of draw a line in the sand. You were a Najee guy, I was an ETN guy. But we said we didn't know for the team which one. Now, we were getting the reports that it was Najee, but the
closer we got, but initially...
everything kept saying Najee, right?
Initially, they talked about ETN at Clemson's Pro Day. I have a real good report with the Steelers. I think I could do everything with them.
Yeah.
But then, closer we got to draft, it said, like, all signs were pointing to Harris.
Right. So, for us, it was kind of like, all right, if that's how you truly felt and you really believe that he was your guy, it was good to see them match that with their actions. That's my biggest thing. Don't tell me that this is the guy you wanted, you loved him and all this, and here we are, we're sitting on the clock and it's down to a minute left and y'all haven't put your pick in just yet. Because it looks like y'all were debating it, y'all were contemplating, y'all were trying to move, y'all were trying to do everything else but pick this guy. But literally with all their picks, you think about the first round, you think about the second round with Pat, you think about the third round with Ken. Like, literally, bro, they were wasting zero time. I'm like, oh yeah, you like love your prospects right here. It's cool because you can see, like I said, in contrast, some of these other organizations where they're letting that clock run way down before they would make their pick. But it was good to see that the team was at least that confident in their pick.
Not only that, whenever you're talking about Harris versus ETN, Harris versus Williams, where Steelers are showing that type of confidence, running back versus offensive tackle, showing the confidence in, hey, we're just taking a running back in the first round. We don't give a shit. I know a lot of people say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be taking a running back in the first round. We don't really care. We think this is our guy. He's going to ball out for us. And then to play off that a little bit more, maybe that shows confidence in some of the dudes that we have in the building on the offensive line. Where it's like, I don't know if Tevin Jenkins, if we bring him in, he would have that same type of impact on the offensive line compared to Harris as a running back with how our offensive line stands right now. I think Harris plus our offensive line, he can make some plays. He can do some things.
So for me, I started thinking of it like this, and I got excited, but then I kind of got nervous. All right? Okay. I'm going to sip me a sip of this water before I get to going, too.
All right. I'll crack up in my second one.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm doing a lot of talking, not a lot of drinking.
Let me just crack this. Take a little sip.
All right, here we go. So, in terms of what I was getting excited about as I thought about our O-line as it's currently constructed post-draft, I got excited because I said, man, we have the makings of a road grading, mauling O-line from a run game standpoint. You put Kendrick Green at center. You have Dotson. We know he loves the run block. You got DeCastro, loves the run block. You put Zach Banner out there, big body tackle at right, loves the run block. And then you move Chooks to left, run block, right? All these guys have size. You bring Najee in, Najee's going to eat. You also have Pat. Pat can give you some of that action in a 2 tight end set with him and Ebron. Because
even just one.
Even in a 1 tight end set, you have a lot of flexibility with that. I love that. I feel like, man, everything points to us being more run first, being more of this nasty physical style approach that we saw early on in Ben's career. That's what I got excited about. I'm like, dude, we could do this, and now play action becomes super easy. Imagine now for Ben, you know, after you done hand this ball up to Najee a couple times, you play fake that, and now you hitting a wide open Claypool streaking down the middle. You're hitting a Juju coming across the scene. You're getting the ball to Deontay on the perimeter and this single coverage out there because they got to pack the box now. I got super excited about that. But then I got nervous because I said, what if my man doesn't want to run the ball that much? What if we still want to throw this route? I don't know how I like our tackles holding up from a pass blocking standpoint to that extent. That's the part. Like, I feel like those guys, as that O-line is constructed right now, will be really, really good in terms of run blocking. Big physical bodies, they move people. I like that. But in terms of our pass blocking standpoint, is Chooks going to be a better left tackle than Al was? Is Banner going to be able to be a better right tackle than Chooks was? Those are my biggest question marks right now because we don't know. We haven't seen it just yet. So if we're trying to throw this ball a ton and these guys can't hold up on the edge, now we got problems. But if we're trying to come out here and have this physical identity where we're going to run this ball and then let the passing game be more secondary option, right? 20 to 30 attempts range instead of 40 to 50 or 60, 70 sometimes range. Instead of it being that much, I think that, man, this could be very successful. And I like that way more.
I'm assuming that's going to be the case.
Now, see, why do you assume that?
Canada's OC.
Okay.
Seems like Ben and Canada, from all these reports, they're going to be working together, excited about working with each other. And that's kind of Canada's MO, is this kind of RPO run. I don't know if I want to say run first style, but very, very unique style of offense. And it seems like Ben has been open to that based off some of these reports. And all the Steelers front office people, whether it's Rooney, Tomlin, they're saying we need to run the ball better. I don't even think Ben could disagree with that, right?
I would hope not.
I thought the passing or the excessive passing last year was due to the lack of the running game.
Okay.
As opposed to the opposite. So I think it's just going to work out for everyone. Like, I think it's just going to be more balanced all around. And, you know, if we are throwing it 20 or 30 times, because that's what was going on in the first 6 to 7, 8 weeks.
That was the model, and it was perfect. And then right after, was it Tennessee, Baltimore time frame is when we got that shift of we're going to come out here and be pass first. And remember, I think, it was after Tennessee because that's when Ben went crazy early on in that game throwing it. And then from there, that's when I think we went to Dallas afterwards, and we're like, man, Dallas had like the worst rush defense. And we were all excited because, hey, man, we're going to get a chance to get back on in terms of running because obviously Baltimore and Tennessee stymied us a little bit. Excuse me. But then we got to Dallas.
Connor was hurt in the Dallas
No,
game.
remember, Connor wasn't hurt.
They pulled him out there.
McFarland was starting, and it was like, why isn't Connor playing? Connor was just sitting on the sideline. He was like the whole meme, just sitting there fully dressed. Yeah. And then from there, we just never saw them go back to like being a team that at least tries to run the ball or tries to have somewhat of balance, because balance doesn't have to be 50-50, as we said. That's not what balance means. It means being able to run the ball effectively when you need to. We just weren't even doing that. We never even looked like we had a desire, even a thought of it. So that was the more so.
And a lot of people make the argument, though, for Finkner being some of that reason, too. The offense is just so predictable in those first 2 quarters, those first 2 series, whatever it is. That's what I'm thinking. It's just going to be different, dude.
But I always just find it funny that, and we already talked about this too, we put it on Finkner, but we know Ben, just like Aaron Rodgers, just like Brady, has full autonomy. He knows the playbook. He can call any play he wants to call. He can check any play he wants to check. So even though I do understand the coordinator is the coordinator for a reason, at the same time, we're not going to act like Ben wasn't making sure that certain calls were called and weren't called. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. I get it. But then it goes back to even like flow of the game. You almost got to feel things out in the first. But that's why maybe we shouldn't just put everything on Finkner.
I do agree with that.
Because, there are times, like Ben starting to do some of that free ball and stuff, and where he's just out there drawing stuff and on the football, like is what people say in the backyard, and just go this route, go that route. I think that comes naturally. If you start getting down a little bit, you start seeing defense do some things.
And especially when he would change it up and do some of the
it is a cool thing. Like, it's a badass thing to do, but
definitely is.
It's not like you're going to be doing that right off the bat, first quarter, first series. Almost just has to happen. But, I mean, we even talked about this, though, with Finkner. Like, he probably deserved to be let go a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The offense just wasn't up to par these last 2 seasons.
No question, man.
But that's why I think I'm more on the hopeful side that even though, maybe the pass protection could be something that you're concerned about a little bit with some of the personnel decisions we have made, I think there are enough changes, and just even the overall mentality is like, we need to get better than this, that this balanced offense will be at the forefront for the 2021 season.
Well, I'm hoping so. Because like I said, man, if it is a balanced attack and we do try to have that identity of being physical and running this ball, our offensive line is set up for that. Like I said, I don't know if we're set up to pass block that often, but we're definitely set up to road grade. Like, Banner is a big man. He can run block. We know Dotson can run. Like we said, man, these guys, they can definitely move people off the ball. So as long as we take that approach, I think we're going to be good. So I asked the people in the chat what their thoughts were on in terms of the Steelers taking Najee. And let's see, man. First, we have... Andre Gilchrist says, I don't believe Najee helps to get the offense off the field, especially post-Ben, but I still like Najee a lot. Okay. De'Aris, I think that's how you say it. De'Aris Mayo couldn't be mad with the pick. Najee's just going to open up so much for us, and it makes Ben's job so much easier. All right, Eli Mullen says he would have preferred ETN or Javonte over him. Quincy also says, I think Javonte has more potential. Then Buggin with 3 N's. It's like Buggin says, I wanted Williams so we could give him a second contract since he is young. He was the youngest of the 3.
I liked him too. I did like
you were high on him. You were high on him for a while, man.
I mean, I was going back and forth.
Yeah, you were.
I was hurting.
Yeah.
But now it's clear cut. We draft Harris. He was the number 1 back.
It's no debate, right? It's no debate. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, Kajana Haney says, I love the pick. I'm calling it now. He will get his jersey retired. Exclamation point.
I like that.
That's big Deke energy right there.
I like that.
That's definitely big Deke energy.
Is a good call.
All right, and then Balaji says, Najee is Le'Veon Bell plus 20 pounds. He's going to be really good. All right. And Winner says, not mad about it. Just think we could have waited and got Sermon later on. Now, I did see a lot of people saying that about him, too, man.
He went in the 3rd round,
He did. That was a lot earlier than we thought. Yes, we thought 4th, 5th round for Trey Sermon. He definitely went early. And it was funny, too. Like, we saw Najee and ETN go back-to-back. Then we saw Javonte be the first back taken in the 2nd round. And then it was like a wait. And then we saw Trey in the 3rd. And then we had to wait somewhere. It was like, whoa, this is crazy. That's another
reason, after the fact, whenever you look back on the draft, I think that's why I like the Harris pick even more. Because you weren't going to get one of those top 3 running backs unless you took him in that 24 spot.
Yeah, you had to.
And if you liked Harris, that was the pick.
Yeah.
And what's funny about the Sermon pick in the 3rd round, so we could have gotten him in the 3rd round. Let's say we would have went Jenkins 1st round, and then we go Pat 2nd round again. Sermon 3rd round. I don't know. I'd rather have the draft that we have right now.
Yeah, I
Harris,
agree.
Pat, and then Kendrick Green. Center.
I definitely agree with that, man.
I would just rather do that. So that just makes this pick that much more better, in my opinion.
Yeah. And a couple other people, man, they said McAdoo. Najee is a stud, the best running back in the draft, a gym rat superhero. He has a talking mindset like a baller, straight stud. And side note too, I do like the fact that
You gonna bring up the quote?
No, go ahead.
You never heard the Le'Veon quote?
No.
You didn't hear what he said?
I didn't listen to him, no.
Harris said, I can do everything Le'Veon Bell does and potentially better, and probably better.
That's what he said?
I'll pull up the exact
I did not know that. Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll pull up the exact.
Oh man, all right, Najee, you gonna have me on my energy now. Come on, baby. Oh, don't tell me he said it for real. Were you dreaming this?
No,
you know how you dream.
Right? I mean, look at the headlines right here. Najee Harris says he can be better than Le'Veon Bell, but I mean, it's not like he's like, I'm better than Le'Veon, but I think it was. Here it is. Here's the exact quote.
I like this energy. Let's go. What do you say? What do you
I'm
say?
getting so many ads. All right,
what
here
do
it
you
is.
say?
Having seen the way Pittsburgh used Bell in his prime, Harris thinks he can do even better. I feel like I can do all that stuff, if not better, Harris said. According to Ed Bichette of The Athletic. I don't know what the question was.
They trying to click.
I know, that's what
they trying to get him, bro.
That's what I mean.
Because he didn't come on and just say, I'm better than Le'Veon.
I can do all that stuff and probably better.
Yeah.
Which is, I hope you think that, right?
Right, you should.
You should think
you
that.
shouldn't be like, I can do that, but not as good. Like, that's not, I don't want that energy. But they definitely try to make it a little bit more spicy than what it is. We're not going to go all the way there with him.
No, for sure. But Le'Veon Bell is a good comparison for Harris. We've talked about this. They have that patient running style.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some good cuts, but I think what Harris can do a little bit better is he has that more bruising style.
No, he definitely does. He's
just
more
like
girth.
I think he has a better just like straight line speed from the line of scrimmage to maybe like the 10 or 15.
Absolutely. His burst. Yes.
They both could get caught by cornerbacks and safeties at the second level.
Najee has more burst though.
More burst and then just that bruising style. Now can we say better pass catcher? We'll have to wait and see on that, but that's gonna be
different.
Yeah.
L Bell was different. I ain't putting no rookie on L Bell just yet.
I'm not doing that, but I do think he was underrated in college. Could he maybe build up to that in his second or third year? Yeah. We'll see, but people are saying Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson for Harris. That's
I like I said, I like that energy,
I
man.
I do too.
You see how excited I got? He said he's better than L Bell. Like, whoa, what? Because y'all know I'm biased. I love me some L Bell. He carried me through my glory years. I needed that. So I'm always indebted. So I had to just make sure the energy was right. But, you know, I like you, Najee. Let's get it. Yeah. That's dope. All right, but let's get back. Big energy right here from Montrese. Montrese says Najee's finna have a 1,600-yard season this year. All right, okay.
I like it.
A lot of people love the quote. It says big energy. Yeah, it's definitely big Deke energy on that, man. Without a doubt, baby. Okay.
You gotta be confident.
Listen, if you're gonna say it and mean it. Now, the thing that I do like is this. He does have the potential, and he's gonna have more than enough opportunities to live up to that statement. Early on, too. Like, we know this year, he's gonna have every opportunity to, hey, you saw what L. Bill did his first year? You can blow that out the water.
Oh, easily.
You should. You should definitely blow it out the water.
You might show you his first year.
Yeah.
So
like, he's in line to do that.
Oh, easily. Because Bell came in, he was hurt for like those first 3 or 4 games.
With the foot, absolutely.
He was out. So his numbers in 13 games, 860 yards.
Oh, okay.
8 touchdowns.
That's a nice little. 800 on the ground is all right, though.
860 in 13 games.
Yeah.
So 45 receptions. 399 yards. So 400 yards, 45 receptions in 13 games.
So he need at least 45 and 8. He need 45, 408. 45 catches, 400 receiving yards, and at least 800 rushing yards. And Elba did that in 13 games.
That's 13
he should definitely do that in 17.
So I did the numbers. So over the course of 16 games, that 860 becomes like 1,050.
No. How many over 17 games?
Oh, it's 17.
17,
games.
yeah, 17 games, yeah.
So that would be like 1,100 yards, a little bit over 1,100 yards.
Okay.
And then receiving wise, I think that was close to 500. If it's 16, so 17 games, 550, close to 600 then. So total yards,
1,600. Yeah, like what they just said. Yeah. So that needs to be the question, man. Is my man Najee going to get the 1,600 yards total offense in year 1? And
that would have to be double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah.
8 touchdowns in 13 games. He had no receiving touchdowns.
But yeah, it would have to be at least 10 touchdowns.
At least 10 touchdowns.
So set the over-under at 10 touchdowns, 1,600 yards.
Yeah. Total yards.
Ooh.
That's doable.
Absolutely.
In 17 games.
He should definitely do that.
Yeah, if you get 12 or 1,300 rushing yards.
Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 receiving yards, it's doable.
Yeah.
He's going to get every opportunity. Because I just saw a headline whenever I was searching for that Le'Veon quote.
Mm-hmm.
Some other article said, where does Najee Harris stand on the Steelers depth chart?
What? Where does he stand on the depth chart? There isn't a depth chart anymore. It's Najee, Najee. Oh, and if Najee gets tired, guess what? We're gonna call a timeout, give him some water, and it's Najee again. That's the depth chart right now, man. What are we talking about? Where does Najee stand on the depth chart, man? Get out of here, baby.
I just told you what I saw.
Get him out of here.